picture. Put my picture up. Talking like another on camera. Talking to myself. Take. All right. Take off my chips. Grab my phone. Plug in one more light. And one more light. All right. Number 200. You guys got 200 still. No, 331 YouTube Live yoga routine. And this morning, what we're going to do is start off with 2 sun salutations, 2 sun sals. That's how you say it when you can't fit it in the title. Actually, that's how people say it, some people. And then we're going to end with a standing mountain pose meditation. Well, standing mountain pose. Mountain pose is standing. So a mountain pose meditation where we focus on the breathing. And I'll explain that when we get there. And don't worry about how to do any of the poses or anything in the poses. I'm going to lead you through every little piece, every little detail. But one thing I want to say is make sure you stay focused on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing, because that is the focus point. And that focus point is what allows the entire yoga routine to become a form of a meditation. Yoga is meditation. Meditation is yoga. When we think of meditation, we think of somebody sitting. Oh, that's meditation. But yoga is a moving meditation. And when you're moving, you're mimicking how you exist off the yoga mat. In yoga, we call that off the mat. And you're moving throughout the day, but you've trained yourself to be in a meditative state while moving on the mat. So when you're moving off the yoga mat throughout your day, you stay in that meditative state. That's the goal. That's the training. And it just happens. Does it happen all the time? No. It may do months you don't do it. But you know it's possible. And you're aware that you're not doing it. And you get like, you know what? I can do better. It's all part of it. And it doesn't mean you do better. It could go years. And you know in the back of your head, you know, it's sort of like working out. Like, man, I need to get back working out. I need to get back working out. You say that every day for 2 to 3 years. But that lingering thing of knowing that you should do something that's good for you. And there's science to all that, why, psychological reasons why you don't do it, blah, blah, blah. So we could say, hey, just go do it anyway. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If that was the case, most people would just do it. But some people don't have that drive. How do you get that drive? Some people would say you could do it. Nope. Because working out is sometimes not fun. So that's how yoga is looked at. Just do it. So for me, I've been doing yoga every day for 331 days. But I made a commitment. And I'm sticking to my commitments. So let's go ahead and begin. Mountain pose. Feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. And each toe touches the floor one at a time. Fits on mat. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. And you're lengthening up. So you think of the skeleton and lengthen the skeleton up. So think of the string on top of the head. You can't see my head when I stand up. Pull, this is your head. Pull yourself up, lengthen up, and then let the bones sit on top of each other. Finding that balance where the skeleton stands, as if you were just your skeleton. So you're not trying to look like a pose that you saw on the internet, in a magazine, in a book, or what you think a pose should look like. Nope. You're tapping into that feeling, that experience of balance. It's more than a feeling. It's an experience. Tap into that experience, that feeling of being balanced. Letting the skeleton just stand as if you were just your skeleton. Don't worry about how it looks. All that comes later on happens. That will all iron out. You don't want to try to be somewhere. You want to just be you. Accept where you are. Find that balance. Now, with that balance, you let that balance transfer to the mind, letting the mind become balance. When the mind and body become one, capital O1, because they dissolve into becoming balance. Not becoming balanced with the ED, you're becoming balance, stability, stillness. Now we're going to move through the two sun salutations, and as you do, you stay balanced. Even though you're moving, you tap into that line of balance as you move, focusing 100% on the breathing. That heightens your awareness, lets you know what's being stretched, lets you know how your body's moving, but you're not becoming those things. You're staying focused on the breathing. Bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push the arms out, up and back. Inhale slowly. Inhale as much as you can, slowly going into the pose as much as you can, and then exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back, reaching out, keeping the back as straight as you can. You're just going to fall right into ragdoll. Ragdoll is where the arms are dangling, head is dangling, no tension anywhere. You're not trying to be somewhere, so you're not pulling yourself down or pushing yourself down. Just letting the body go where the body goes. Essentially, what you're learning here is acceptance. Capital A, acceptance. So just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but breathing. Palms to calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You're going to arch the back, raise the head, inhale. Inhale as much as you can, slowly. And then you're going to exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in and down, forehead going to the knees, get all the air out, all the air leaves. And again, arch the back, raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can, opening up, feeling opened. And then exhale. Exhale all the air out, pull yourself in and down. Get all there out. And again, arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. Then exhale. Pull yourself in and down. Get all there out. Forehead going to the knees. Once all there is out, you release the breathing, staying in the pose, and just watch yourself breathe. So even though you're closed in, still tap into acceptance. And once you accept where you are in the pose, boom, you become opened. The body does not dictate whether you feel opened or not. The palms to the sides of the feet, left leg is back into a low lunge. With the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor and the back. Knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is up. Making sure the front knee is not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some. Inhaling, and then release the breathing, and then just watch yourself breathe. Again, once you're settled, you accept where you are. You're not trying to be somewhere, just accept. You're going to go to high lunge, so curl the toes under the back, knee goes up. We're just going to use the high lunge as a transition pose. So settle in the high lunge, then move into the downward dog. Arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor, pushing into it. Push as much as you can. Exhaling all the air out. Then release the breathing. Then just watch yourself breathe. Now the arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor. And then you're going to the spot right before you feel like, you know what, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle, and just watch yourself breathe. Then you slide into downward dog. So you drop down to the knees and the chest, and you slide up. Top of the feet are to the floor, palms to the floor. Inhaling as much as you can. And then go ahead and release the breathing. And then just watch yourself breathe. Remember, 100% focus on the breathing. Modify the poses how you have to. Accept where you are. What you're doing is essentially accepting who you are. So when you're off the yoga mat, back to downward dog, pushing into it, exhale all the air out. And then go ahead and release the breathing and watch yourself breathe. So when you're off the yoga mat, you're accepting who you are, where you are. It gives you a truth, a base, where to begin. And then you can move from there. The left foot is up, between the hands, into a low lunge. Into a low lunge, top of the foot to the floor in the back, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is up. Make sure the front knee's not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some. Inhaling, and then release the breathing, and watch yourself breathe. Then curl the toes under the back, knee goes up, high lunge just for a second so. We're using it as a transition. So you settle. Once you're settled, then you move into the standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down, get all the air out. All the air leaves. Then release the breathing. And then just watch yourself breathe. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Turn the palms out. Push the air down and out, exhale. Palms together. And then another sun salutation. Last one, inhale. Going into it as much as you can, inhale as much as you can. And then go ahead. Exhale, as you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back, reaching out, keeping the back straight as you can. And palms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down, get all the air out. Once all the air is out, you release the breathing. And just watch yourself breathe. So in this pose, it's important to let yourself breathe. When you inhale, the belly swells with air. It pushes you out of the pose slightly. Let yourself be pushed out. When you exhale, the belly goes in. You go back into the pose. It's a subtle, subtle movement. You're aware of that subtle movement. Essentially learning how to become aware of subtleness. Then the left leg is back into a low lunge. Low lunge, top of the foot to the floor, back knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is up. Do the best you can, inhaling slowly. And then go ahead and release the breathing. and watch yourself breathe. Again, once you're subtle, you accept where you are. You're not trying to be somewhere. Just accept where you are. Then curl the toes under the back, knee goes up, high lunge just for a second or so. Then downward dog, pushing into it. Exhale all the way out slowly, arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor. Pushing into the pose, head is dangling, no tension in the neck. Release the breathing, and watch yourself breathe. And now you can slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and the chest, and you slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor, palms are to the floor. Inhaling, inhale as much as you can, slowly going into the pose as much as you think you should. And go ahead and release the breathing and watch yourself breathe. And then back to downward dog, pushing into it. Going to the spot right before you feel like, you know what, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle, accept, and just watch yourself breathe. The left foot is up, between the hands, into a low lunge. With a low lunge, help the foot to the floor, the back knees to the floor, hips are square. Pushing forward, diagonally, back is arching, head is up. Inhaling slowly. And then go ahead and release the breathing and just watch yourself breathe. Then curl the toes into the back, knee goes up, high lunge just for a second or so. Then standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down, get all there out, all there knees, foreheads into the knees, and then release the breathing. And watch yourself breathe. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Inhale as much as you can, turn the palms out, push the head down and out, exhale. And palms together, thumbs to the heart center. With a mountain pose. Remember mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor. One at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And you're lengthening up. So think of the skeleton, think of a string on top of the head, pull yourself up, then let the bones sit on top of each other. Let the skeleton stand as if you were just your skeleton. No skin, no muscle, tendons, ligaments, none of that exists. Just the skeleton standing, no tension anywhere. And you're finding that balance that threads through the skeleton, that allows the skeleton to stand. You're finding that stability that threads through the skeleton, that allows the skeleton to stand. Now, for the mountain pose, what's important is become firm. But firmness exists in going with the flow. So if you sway a little bit, go with the sway. Because you're one with everything. So it may feel like you're moving by yourself, but if you're one with everything, you're moving with everything. Therefore, you are still, if the mind is still. You don't want to fight the sway, because then that's not true stability. Stability is when you're flexible, like a straw. Flexible. A stick, it wants to bend, it breaks. It would be more like straw. But with the sway, there's true stability, true strength. Now you can let that balance and that stability transfer to the mind. Now in the mind, you become balanced and stable. And here, instead of the skeleton, you have your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts become you. Thoughts are of the past or the future. In the present moment, there's no thoughts. Just oneness, capital O, oneness. Now the word for oneness is capital B, balance, capital S, stability, capital S, stability. Stability. Stillness. Couldn't think of the word. Now, we're going to focus on the breathing. We're going to do this for 5 minutes. You focus on the breathing. To watch yourself breathe, you pay attention to the belly. This is just one way. As you inhale, the belly expands. When you exhale, the belly goes in. It's a natural breath. So you pay attention to that natural breath. You're not going to control it. Now, many times when we focus on it, we start to control it. And then we start to think, hey, am I controlling it? Am I not? That's all fine. But just let go and just watch it. Or you bring your focus to the tip of the nose and watch the air go in and out. Don't control it. Can't speak this morning. Don't control it. Just watch it. And what will happen many times is you'll start to think about other things. Next thing you know, you're focusing on a second cup of coffee, work, kids, whatever, bills. Then you won't even realize you're not focusing on the breathing. And then you realize, hey, I'm not even watching myself breathe. When you realize that, don't judge it. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's already done. Just bring your focus back to the breathing. Watching yourself breathe, becoming one, staying one physically and mentally. And for 5 minutes, we're going to do it. My stopwatch. And just do the best you can. If you have to adjust, you adjust. If you get an itch, you itch it. Don't fight that stuff. Stay in the present moment as you itch. You're still doing yoga. I'm a timer. 5 minutes. palms together, thumbs to the heart center. That's it. So that was number 331 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. So I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time on Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.